basketball. Football's over. I need to get
Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
basketball game, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir. Friday, baby. UConn taking on Butler. Minus 118 on the spread. I wish it would just move. Wish I could just get a minus 110 on a 6 or anything. Anyway, we're live, baby. You know how we rock. Friday morning. Got college football. National championship happening on Monday. Definitely going to break down that game. Give out our picks as well as week 18 across the National Football League. Definitely going to break down every game, especially every game that matters. And if you don't know which games that matter, don't worry. Have no fear. We will also explain what games and why games matter as well. What teams are in the playoff hunt still, and what teams already clinched or have no chance. And then, of course, college basketball heating up. Actually, it's on fire if you ask me. College hoops, baby. Got one bet for you tonight that I'm thinking about going all in on. Waiting for the number to move so I can get better odds than minus 118. Also, I do have a full list of Saturday numbers that I did last night. Just to get back to the basics here on the show. We'll give those out at the end of the show. My Saturday numbers. If you don't know or don't remember, I can explain it real briefly. These are my projected numbers. When the numbers come out, write the numbers down next to these numbers and bet the difference. Usually, it's a good idea. But this is my numbers. This don't mean nothing to nobody if it don't mean nothing to you. But my man, Jaden Chandler Parnell, is here with me to talk some football. So without further ado, and before we even get to some football, I do want to ask him one question about Purdue. My man, how you doing? They're taking on Illinois tonight. My man, Jaden Chandler Parnell of Purdue.
How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm wondering how you feeling about this game. Purdue.
Excuse me.
At the Mackey.
I saw 10.5, and I immediately am like, damn, they ain't covering that. I feel like Purdue will definitely win, but I won't lie. I got the inside scoop from some inside sources. By inside sources, I mean my grandparents who have watched every Purdue game. They say their guards are playing a lot better. I trust my grandpa; he watches a lot of sports. He said the guards are playing a lot better. The threes are falling a lot more as of lately too. So that's a nice thing that they have rolling for them, especially in that Maryland game. Or sorry, was it Maryland they played last?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that game, my grandparents were telling me how they had a lot of the threes falling and everything seemed to be working out. So it's sounds like Purdue's actually like, I hate to say it because I said it last year that I would hate them forever, but they might be legit this year. It's one of those things where it's they've gotten better and better. And Edie now in his third season, I think now. So this is the time. It's either now or never, I feel like. And I feel like Purdue's been like that for the past few seasons.
Edie definitely stepped his game up to another level, which I didn't think was possible. Definitely stepped his game up to another level. He's really looking like an NBA prospect now. But the guards, like your grandfather said, he's completely right. The guard play has been phenomenal. Second year guards, Fletcher Lawyer and Braden Smith. I thought they were good as freshmen.
Even their sixth man.
I think they're great as starters. Yeah, I think you're talking about Lance Jones. I haven't watched much of it, but I watched a few of them. Lance Jones is a damn dog for sure.
Yes, that's what I've been hearing too from the sources. So I'm excited, man. I'm actually interested to watch Purdue basketball because I was out on them at the beginning of the year after last season, but God damn it, they got me back.
He said you lose to a 16
got me
seed.
back.
Anyway,
I'm
nah,
out of here.
I love Illinois. What they've done this season. If this was at Illinois, I'd feel differently. But I think Purdue actually can win and cover this 10.5.
Being at
Illinois,
Mackey helps.
exactly. Illinois last night. I mean, they played ridiculous. Or 2 nights ago, they beat Northwestern 93-60. But they were just draining threes. You had your boy Domas drop 32 points. I don't think Domas can drop another 32
Shout
at
out.
Mackey. And a lot of stuff they were getting at the rim. I think Edie will take care of that problem on defense. And they were hitting a lot of threes, Illinois themselves. Usually on the road, those role players come up a little short or off on the jumpers. But anyway, that's
Mhm.
neither here nor there. While you're here nor there. We got some football going on this weekend. Particularly, let's start off at the college ranks.
Crying. We're about
Um,
done, man. Wild.
about done. No, it is crazy. I feel like we literally just started talking about week one, and now we're talking about the
Dude,
n-
you
national
and me both.
championship.
I feel like this is what, like my fifth, sixth time on the show like this year, and we're just enjoying time. It's like, no, you've been on about 18, 19 times now, boy. Crazy to think
Oh,
about.
no, I definitely appreciate that, man. You have been on more than you know. You've probably been on close to 30, 40 times.
Yeah, and it doesn't even feel like it. Just it's fun. Just crazy. It's crazy, man. National championship. That just feels wild to say. National championship. Woo.
Yes, sir. You got Washington taking on Michigan. Pac-12 representing in their last year alive. Washington
You
plus
mean Big
four and a
Ten?
half. Hey, they still Pac-12 this year. If they win right now, it'd be Pac-12.
That is true. Would be funny if way to go out, them to win the last game, and then all of a sudden leave the conference with the title.
Yeah. No, it
Weird.
would be crazy. I still don't understand why how Pac-12 is breaking up
I can't wait
um
for the Chip Kelly
championships.
said it best. I can't wait for like the science experiment and the breakdown that they do on like the research breakdown that they do on this. How in the hell did $100 million business in the Pac-12 just overnight implode and all of a sudden everyone's gone? That's going to be an
Bananas.
interesting story to learn about.
Definitely is, man. Captain by a hook with the red beard, my man Jaden Chandler Parnell with me. You got Washington and Michigan. Which side are you leaning? If I had to take a lean, I honestly think Michigan has the running game to offset Penix and anything they can do special by time of possession. I know that's kind of a lame old school thought on a football game, but I could just see Michigan having some 9-minute drives. I think Michigan gonna cover the 4.5. I think it's going to be a low scoring game opposed to what people think. I'm thinking like 23-16 or 23-13, something crazy like that.
And I'm not going to lie to you. I think the books kind of agree with you too. I was looking at Blake Corum's over under 103 rushing yards. He's hit that once this season. That is just wild to think about. It's yeah, no, I'm definitely on Michigan 4.5 here. I am very excited into I what I saw from the Texas run game. I thought Texas run game was really good. I'm with you on the point that I think those fumbles killed them, but if you saw the run game seemed to be
Dang,
like pretty good. And yeah, it's that was
sorry to
tough. I
cut
mean,
you
when you
off,
turn
but
over the
man, that
ball,
killed me.
oh,
Yeah,
you're all good. That's what happens. I mean, that's literally like that's football. 3 or 5 plays in the game will decide it, and those fumbles are the ones that decide it. And then you look at the end of the game, just to touch up on that real quick. Quentin Ewers maybe throws a bullet pass and doesn't float it up there. That's something I heard about, and I rewatched it back. It's like, man, maybe,
it
but
was a
that's
horrible
picky.
pass.
He's left it in the air. I thought way too long, but like I'm not gonna bash the kid because it's last minute moment. He had the chance. That's all you ask for is a chance to do it. He just came up short. Hopefully, we'll see. He's coming back next season, so we'll see how he does. But man, I will admit, all over Michigan 4.5, but I am scared of Washington, man. I won't lie to you, that was watching Penix throw last game.
Oh,
It was honestly jaw dropping watching him throw the way he was
yeah.
throwing that football. That the one that gets me is one of the silent when he has to do it in his face when he does a quick flick, kind of turns around, the ball's literally in the perfect about dropped an F bomb. I mean, I it's just I'm just baffled. Baffled is the way to put it. I'm literally just watching all those replays in my head. That's what scares me is that guy was putting balls in the windows, and Michigan has not played an air raid like that this season. But on the flip side, like I said, I think that Blake Corum will be able to run all over Washington. Their defense is good, but they're a very opportunistic defense. They think they're very comparable to I hate to say it, but kind of like the Colts in the NFL. I think it's very comparable. Their defense, the Colts defense, very opportunistic. They're good in the front seven, but then you look at their back DBs, it's kind of like starts to get a little sketchy. And I mean, Washington can get thrown all over. There's a chance they can do that. McCarthy hasn't done that all season, so that's what makes it exciting, man. We got to slow the pace down, kind of mash the rock team versus spread it out, throw it all over the field, West Coast kind of style offense. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch because I think Michigan's definitely liable to win if they can control the clock. But the biggest issue is what Washington does best. You saw in the third quarter in that last game, they get the ball with the lead, they just sit down on that thing and just absolutely destroy the clock. But
It almost hurt them though, man. I mean,
I'm
I thought
excited.
you got a better play call at the end by Texas. I don't even think they gave themselves a chance with those 4 plays they called, man. But we don't have to go back
No,
in time.
that check down was pretty. That pissed me off. I'll admit. Like if I was a
Oh,
Texas fan, that instant check down to kill time, it's just like
yeah, that
uh,
sucked. And then you just
wasted
forced
play.
it to the same spot 3 times in a row with 3 bad passes.
I would
I
have
feel like
loved to
they
see
should have
some
opened the
like
field
rollout
goal more.
action or something.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah, I thought they. Other than play design, I don't think they were horrible play calls, but I just thought the design of them could have been a little bit better. Except for that check down. That check down was absolutely horrible. Adonai Mitchell was at least open. Those like 2 or 3 plays, so he at least was like
yeah.
semi open. But yeah, I don't defense for that check down. Sarkisian kind of messed up there a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't like the play calling, but I hate to blame a young quarterback. I mean, he's not young, but I hate to blame college kids for anything.
Exactly.
They
I
just,
mean, it's like, and that was like his first, I think, like true chance to like have like that was his like I think first chance to have a moment pretty much in college.
yeah. I mean, that's definitely
Because
a
I mean, if you
world.
think about it, they rolled over Oklahoma State and like during their regular season. I mean, I guess Alabama he played pretty well too, so that was another one. But it's just like I felt like the first time where it's like, hey, Quinn,
It's
if
on
you
you.
take Texas to the yeah, if you took imagine if he takes Texas national championship comparisons to Vince Young and what they did that
Sheesh.
season, easy.
Man, I know you was too young to remember, but that was special.
I'm slightly a little too young, but at least was old enough to see most of the highlights and watch all of it. Give Reggie his Heisman back.
Yeah, they should get Reggie
Terrible.
Heisman back.
By the way, though, I do have some touchdowns to
Vince
move on
Young,
from this game once we're done.
Vince Young, Herm Clark, finest. Shout out to that. Go ahead, man. Talk to me. We both on Michigan.
Yeah,
I
shout
don't
out
think
Vince
either
Young,
of
by
us
the way.
like the over, but you can definitely break down your props.
So I won't lie to you. I'll definitely shout out Stay On Sports. Feel free to check that out Monday. I'll try to get a few more things on there because it's just like I said. I was looking at some props on my show, and it's like, damn, Blake Corum over 106 rushing yards. Like I think it's going to happen, but it's like, man, why 106? But something I do like, at least right now, that I saw that caught my eyes. Jalen Polk over 53.5 receiving yards. If you watch the Texas game, he got that basically one reception, got tackled at the goal line. So it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? He's basically their deep shot guy. I like a lot of his props for stuff. So 53.5 isn't bad at all for their deep shot guy. And like I said, it could be one of those scripts where if Washington is down, they need to throw. And I think they're going to throw regardless with Penix. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just like Polk's number. 53.5, I like a really good number. Now I got a bunch of touchdown scores. I got basically 4 from each team. My goal this game, I'm going to pick 2 from each.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick 2 from each, combine into a super parlay. But past that, most of these are all guys that like to score. I just don't know like who do I like more? And the odds vary from minus 370 to plus 280. So I got a whole list of them. The first one, Blake Corum minus 370. He's for sure one leg of something. I would say if you're making a parlay, I hate to say it's automatic, but this guy has scored in every single game this year. So
You
that's about
can't
as
say.
automatic as you get. That's a 100% rate. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to say a lock, but the book's putting at minus. This is the only one in the minus 300s. Very next one's like minus 140. So it's like he is the only one that is like all the way tanked up there, and it's because he's a scoring machine this year. That's all he's basically been doing. He's especially at the they get it within 5 yards. Blake Corum's gonna find a way into the end zone. Dylan Johnson, he's for Washington minus 140. He's their running back. I don't mind him at all because especially when they happened last week, Jalen Polk got tackled at the 2. Dylan Johnson punches it in. Roma Dunze minus 130. He didn't score last week, so I like for him to get an opportunity this week. His receiving yards are like 94.5, so I'm going to look at that. But I mean, I'm not going to say it hit with ease last week's, but I wasn't ever nervous. It did take to the fourth quarter to hit, but it never made me like nervous to watch his number hit. Roman Wilson plus 175 for Michigan. If they pass the ball, I don't mind him at all. I think he's one of the 2 receiving options I have, but the one I really like the most, I'm like kind of salivating at if he gets the opportunity. Donovan Edwards plus 175, Michigan's backup running back. If Blake Corum gets in at least early, I think that there's a chance. Hey, give him a breather. Donovan Edwards can just rip one off real quick, score from 15 yards out potentially. But we'll have to see on that plus 175. I don't mind the odds at all. Jalen McMillan and Jalen Polk, both of the receivers for Washington, plus 170, plus 220 for Jalen Polk, plus 170 for McMillan. It's just basically between those 2 and Rome's and New Day, it's kind of like roulette. It's like just pick one of the ones you want. At least have all 3 of odds for them. And then the last one for Michigan, Colston Loveland, plus 280. He's the tight end for them. Didn't get involved as much last game as I feel like they would have liked to. So I look for him to get slightly a little bit more involved in this game. And at plus 280, he's one of the best odds to score touchdowns. So it's like, why not? Because if you know college football touchdown scoring odds, they just spit in your mouth pretty much and tell you we ain't giving you a good number. So plus 280 is about as good as you're gonna get. Dude, I'm telling you, there's some disrespectful numbers out there. Like Ollie Gordon to score for their bowl game was like minus 750. It's like
Did he score?
they ain't even trying. He scored. I mean,
Hey.
they know. I'm not gonna say they don't know, but it makes me mad, man. They're just blatantly telling you like, hey, we ain't letting you bet it. Sorry.
Yeah. That's these
Yeah.
new sports
By the way,
for you.
I know. Yeah, feel free. Like I said, I'm gonna parlay probably 2 of each team, but these are all guys I like to find the end zone. And like I said, just gave a lot because the first like 3 or 4 are really low odds. I know there's some boys out there who like to get nasty with big odds.
Yes, sir. No, I love it, man. Definitely gonna grab a few of those on my way to the game. Not that I'm going to the game, just on my way.
Would
I
be
don't know. I
cool.
thought it'd be a fun thing to say. Make a bet before you watch the game. Uh, let's jump over to some big boy leagues. A lot of stuff going on in the NFL this weekend. I'm sure you know a little more than me. What games matter and what games don't. I don't know if you want to break
Yeah,
that down or if you want to just go game by game.
these are the clinching scenarios. We got 2 full sheets. We can go game by game because I can like as we're going game by game, I can just kind of check the sheet and then see how important it is. Like this first one. I mean, the first few are pretty. I think all the first few are pretty important, so we might as well just bust them all out.
Sounds good, man. The Baltimore Ravens, they are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ravens plus 3.5
Implications
at
here.
home. What'd you say?
Oh, I was saying implications here.
Yeah. Steelers trying to make it happen. Captain, total set at 35 in the hook. Ravens plus 3.5 at home. Talk to me about this game, my man JCP.
Excuse me. Sorry. Mason Rudolph starting again. Lamar Jackson not in. Tyler Huntley's in. I have no idea who else they're sitting. Dalvin Cook. I doubt he's going to play. He just got signed yesterday. But for the Pittsburgh Steelers, this game matters a lot. So for Pittsburgh, this is how they get into the playoffs. They get in with the win and Buffalo loss, win and Jaguars loss or tie, win in Houston or Indy tie, Pittsburgh tie and Jacksonville loss plus Houston and Indy doesn't end in a tie. And then the last one is Jacksonville loses, Denver wins, Houston and Indy doesn't end in a tie. Pittsburgh can make the playoffs. So the biggest thing is they got to win. Because if they leave it up to situation 4 and 5, it's going to be a little bit sweat to get into the playoffs. Shout out Mike Tomlin again, though, for another winning season. It just does it. I mean, it might have been probably the most disgusting one he's done yet, but they're still in the playoffs somehow. Side note, though, why the hell do you take this long to start Mason Rudolph over Mitchell Trubisky? The Steelers were 9-3 in games without Mitch starting, so it makes you wonder. But
man,
I don't know.
It's just hard to root against a guy named Mitch.
No,
I'm a Trubisky fan, but
man, I just feel like he definitely needed more games in college because he just. I don't want to diss him too much because obviously he's an NFL quarterback and he made it, but it just feels like there's like a little bit development lacking in some areas. But
no, I think I saw
like I said,
one good game with the Bears, and I was just on him. That was my guy. I didn't even care. Tricky Trubisky.
I tell you what, living in Chicago for a few years while I was in college, them boys did not like Mitch. I saw heartbreaking stuff to watch one of my boys rip his poster off the wall. I tell you what. No, I got nothing this game really. I really don't have like a general lean because I don't know, honestly. Huntley isn't a bad backup at all. I don't know who else is sitting really for the Ravens. And this game slightly matters because I don't think the Ravens would want to see the Steelers in the playoffs at all. And it's like I said, they're sitting people, so it's like a.
No, I heard
and it's AFC North.
I heard because of it, most of the stuff you just said. I heard a bunch of people on Ravens plus 3.5. Division game. Ravens Steelers. It's like who gives a damn who's playing? They gonna want to win this damn game.
There's some pride there.
Yeah, and you can't bench everybody.
It's not, and it's different from the NBA. Like a lot of in the NBA, they can make it obvious thing because it's like, oh, we're gonna start this 5-5 guy at point guard now. Like in the NFL, most people are still trying to try a little bit because there's more. I can't think of the word, but there's more reason to try basically because
trying to get paid. Like
Chuck Pagano said it best: you're playing for the name on your back of your jersey and the decal on your helmet. Pretty much, that's what it comes down to in the last few weeks. I mean, if you saw Mike Vrabel too, a lot of these guys don't like to lose, so it's like, yeah. And there's a lot more of them on the field. It's not like basketball where it's like you can get if you get 2 of 5 to lose, you'll be good. If you get like 2 of 11, those of the 9 are gonna play have to play a lot harder, and they will.
Yes, sir. Moving on to a game I know you cannot wait for. Saturday night, baby, prime time
We'll
football.
see.
The Houston Texans trying to get into the playoffs, taking on the Indianapolis Colts,
Traveling
who
to the
are
loud house.
yeah. Colts plus 1.5. Believe it or not. Dogs at home. Moneyline minus 102. Texans moneyline minus 116. Minus money both ways. I was talking about in my show earlier this week. I don't know if you heard this or you remember this. You
I
remember
probably
when games
did.
used to just say pick 'em if it was like this?
Yeah, I can't believe they don't do it anymore. Like it's weird.
Yeah, I miss it.
Just seeing that
Basically a
PK on
pick
there,
'em.
PK.
Yeah, basically a pick 'em, baby. Texans, Colts. Total set at 47.5. If I had to bet this game, it'd be the over. I think both of these teams are capable of winning. I know your heart and your mind is a lot closer to this game than mine. Where you at on this Colts Texans game?
Man, you want to talk about heart and mind. I won't lie. First time these teams played, September 17th. So like you can basically throw that out the window. Anthony Richardson was playing. Uh, he scored 2 touchdowns right away. They were up 13, and basically, I'm trying to think. TJ Stroud, he played decently well in that, but it was so long ago. Uh, this game matters a lot. Sorry, I'm trying to find it on the sheet. For whatever reason, they didn't put it in order of the games. They put it in weirdly. So this is how it goes. Houston Texans. If they win, Houston, Houston is in. They just have to win and they're in. They can win the division if Jacksonville loses and they win. That's the best part about this game. If Jacksonville loses to the Titans, which I don't know if you people saw that Vrabel comments he made at the last press report. He was mad. All right, Gentry. You got anything else to say, Gentry? He would do. He was. Have you seen that video?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Oh my gosh, they were asking him like basically. I'm gonna use a bad word here, people. So if you're young, need a little earmuffs. But it was hilarious. He was basically talking to some reporters asking him, "What do you have to play for? You guys basically season is over." He's like, "Losing sucks, Gentry." And he sits there quiet. And there's like kind of deadly quiet. He's like, "Because losing fucking sucks, Gentry." And then another guy asks the question. He's like, "Wait." While the other person asks the question, he's like, "Wait. You got anything else you would like to comment on, Gentry?" He was
Yeah.
just going off on this
Yeah.
guy. Obviously, you could tell those two are very close because I don't think he just does it to any reporter if you watch Vrabel. But you got Vrabel, you got that guy mad. So yeah, like I said, if the Titans beat Jaguars, this game is for the AFC South.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome. So like, and regardless, winning you're in for the playoffs. So this game matters a lot, a lot. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up something real quick for Jonathan Taylor versus the Texans because I just learned about this recently. He is a Texan killer, like how Derrick Henry used to be. We'll talk about that in a second, though. Obviously, I think we know what I'm betting, right? Do I gotta say it? Colts money line. Moving on. Like I said, though, I'm gonna take Jonathan Taylor to score anytime. And I'm gonna take him to rush for over 100 yards. And here's why: Jonathan Taylor in his career versus the Texans, he's averaging 20 attempts for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. He is just absolutely running all over them Texan boys. He didn't play in the first game because of the contract dispute and everything. So this is his first time playing him all season. I look for Jonathan Taylor to get involved on the ground. I look for Michael Pittman to get involved in the air. I don't mind his receptions or receiving over at all. I haven't looked at it, but I don't mind it. I can tell you that. And yeah, this is a big game. This is a great way to start Saturday night. Saturday night we get a playoff game. Sunday night we get a playoff game. It's awesome. You gotta love it.
I love everything you said. I just got to tell you one thing. Southside gonna ride, baby. I might have to face you. Texans money line might have to do it.
I understand it.
For Leah.
I understand it. But
I think the Houston Texans got it though, man.
they could. Oh,
I'm gonna be on
I
the
will
over
say
for
though,
sure, though.
Houston's Texans injury report though is really scary.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've seen it. It's like they got a big old list. They got one of them's a tackle. They got like a tackle, potentially a corner, another lineman, a fullback, the fullback. It's like I said though, it's gonna be very fun. Colts, 6th loudest stadium in the NFL. How about the Loud House?
Hey now. Better watch out. I'll definitely be on the over. Still thinking about the Texans money
Yeah.
line, but
I can see this being definitely like a 24-27 final. That's about my prediction.
I can see that. Both teams getting up there. Moving on to the NFC South. The New Orleans Saints. Let me just save you some time looking it up. I guarantee you, the New Orleans Saints do not make the playoffs, you ain't even got to tell the people.
It's gonna be
Saints
tough.
need to win. Bucks need to lose. If the Saints win and the Bucks win, we need the Packers and the Seahawks to lose. Now, ain't that some? Because we should have beat the damn Packers week 3, week
Well, I
2.
was about to say, I don't think that matters anymore now because I think the Packers beat you. If you guys are same record as the Packers, I think the Packers get the tiebreaker.
That's why we need them to lose and the
Well,
Seahawks to
that's what I'm
lose.
saying. We have the same record as the Packers with the loss, with that
I
loss.
don't know. Just all I know is we need to win. Bucks need to lose, and if the Bucks win,
Yes,
we need the
that's
Packers
the
and
big
the
one.
Seahawks to lose.
That Bucks game is probably going to be your best chance of getting in because if it comes down to those last two, it's going to be a little bit sweaty.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's about
guaranteeing you
yeah.
100% the New Orleans Saints do not make the playoff.
Oh, here
However,
we go. Sorry, you are right. You are right. By the way, I completely said it wrong. They
well,
do
yeah.
clinch a playoff berth. Win, Seattle loss, and tie, or Green Bay loss or tie, and then if New Orleans ties, they need 2 losses. But yeah, you need 2 losses pretty much. It sounds like.
Oh, big trash. Should have just handled our business earlier in the season. Somebody please fire Dennis Allen. Somebody please trade Derek Carr. And somebody please get Jameis Winston the hell on up out of here. Anyway, Saints are -3 at home this weekend, taking on the Dirty Birds, the hot Atlanta Falcons. Division
Crashing.
foe rivalry game. Total set at 42.5. Again, Saints at home -3. I'm not betting this game. I'm gonna watch it, of course. But the whole time I'm watching it, I'm gonna say these you dirty dogs should have beat the damn Packers in week 3. Should have beat the damn Rams 2 weeks ago. They already broke my heart enough. I ain't got no hope in them, man. You got anything on this Saints Falcons game?
I kind of don't want to. I'm pissed at the Falcons for the last 2 weeks of just being horrible, booty ass trash. Saints
Yeah.
have just made me mad every time I picked them this year. So it's like, I think Saints win this game. I'm going to wait to get them live so I can at least hate myself for betting a better number. And then I'm with you, man. I'll watch this game, but it's going to be I'm not going to be happy about. If I bet money on either side, I'm probably not going to be happy with it. But the gambler and me, we got to do it. It's week 18. But no, I do think the Saints probably win this game. I don't know how much heart the Falcons have anymore. Their season just has gone, and then it's just been straight down the pooper recently.
No, yeah.
It's tough.
Hey, at least they don't have to root for the Panthers to beat the Buccaneers.
Oh, the
Like
team
that's
that
gonna
beat the
happen.
Falcons. Yeah, that's
Uh,
tough. I tell you what, that is tough.
Bengals, baby.
Oh
They're
man.
taking on the Browns in Cincinnati. Browns already clinched the spot, I believe, according to this number, I'm guessing. +7
Oh,
for the Browns on the road. Bengals -7 at home. Total set at 37.5. What's the deal with this game? These two teams and what you like on it? I have nothing off the top of my head that I like.
back step real quick. Atlanta, by the way, wins the division with a win and a Tampa Bay loss. So they still have something to play for here, people. I just want to throw that in as well. Somehow, them dirty Falcons, I just said, have broken my heart for the last 2 weeks. I've been absolute booty. Can still make the playoffs. They got hey, that's hilarious because we just talked about it. They do got to root for the Panthers.
Oh
They got
yeah.
to win and root for the Panthers. That sucks.
Oh, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not winning this, bro.
Everyone in the NFC South is like, oh, damn it. We got to root for
I
them
know.
Panthers.
It's like, oh, yeah. You gotta send out Bryce Young and the Panthers to save you
Who
to
just got
save
shut
your
out last
season.
week.
The 2-15 Panthers.
Golly. Yeah, and by the way, I got nothing this Bengals Brown game. Browns are sitting about everybody, so it makes me want to kind of take their spread in. I used to like Jake Browning a little bit, and then he had that come to earth game against the Vikings, I think, where he just looked like a
And
backup quarterback. I'm like,
he
oh, okay, yeah, so I'm good.
yeah, never bounced
Maybe take
back
Joe
from that.
Mixon to score, but I'm good. Yeah, no, it's kind of like the Josh Dobbs thing. Once I see like that game, it's like, that's why now. And it's like, leaves a little taste in your mouth. It's just bad. Like I still like Josh Dobbs, but it's like, 4 interceptions, lost me my survivor that I pretty much might have still been going on because I've gotten a lot of the weeks right left that I've like picked in my head. It's like, just makes you shudder at night sometimes picking these people. So I'd rather not lose money hoping the Bengals win by a touchdown. And the AFC North again, by the way. These AFC North games are literally cataclysmic, basically is the best way to put it. I lean actually Browns +7 because I think about it because I think they have their number. I forget how it goes, but like one in the AFC North will like Like the Browns have like the Bengals numbers, the Bengals have the Ravens numbers, Ravens have it's something like that where it's like almost a full circle. This team has this team's number and they just always beat them. I just can't remember if it's the Bengals or not.
Yeah,
It's
they
Bengals or
definitely
Ravens
got
that
good.
this Browns team is really good against, but I couldn't tell you. Joe Flacco ain't playing. I ain't betting.
You dig? The
Best way
GOAT,
to put
baby.
it.
Shout out to him. Imagine if
Go
he would have had these
footsteps.
last 6 seasons still in his prime, still with the
Man,
Ravens.
I imagine if the Jets don't. Imagine if the Jets just play him instead of Butt Wilson. Or sorry, Zach Wilson.
Hey, there's
Wild.
another universe out there where the Saints have 3 Super Bowls. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Titans. We alluded to this game earlier. Jaguars 3.5 point favorites on the road. Total set at 40 in the hook. Uh, I know Jacksonville. You said if they lose, the Texans win the division. Jacksonville wins. Do they just automatically win the division?
Yep, Jacksonville wins, they're in. All they got to do is win this game. They win the division, no issues at all. They can also, if Indy ties and Pittsburgh loses, they can win that way if they end up like messing around or something. But they still can make the playoffs. They just need as long as they tie in a Pittsburgh loss, or if a Pittsburgh loses, Denver loses, and Houston and Indy doesn't end in a tie. That's assuming they lose because if they win, they're in the division. It's no issues. But if they lose, they can still somehow make the playoffs a little
Yeah.
bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna take the Titans plus 3.5 here, and this is not because I think they are gonna like win. I like the game to be close regardless, but I think the Titans might actually win this game. After seeing Vrabel in the press conference, it gets me up a little bit more because like this is the perfect spot to be like, hey, boys, you want to go ruin their season real quick, knock them out of the playoffs, keep them from winning a division title. Like there's actually like that's stuff that people hold on to for a while too, and that's something that I mean the Jaguars literally did to the Colts. I think like 2 seasons ago. All they have to do, all the Colts have to do is win for 2 weeks in a row, lose to Las Vegas, lose
Yeah.
to Jacksonville, and they don't make the playoffs. I mean, it's
Philip
that's a
Rivers? Oh, that was Carson Wentz.
I was 2 sprained ankles Wentz, who somehow sprained both his ankles on the same play. I've never seen something like that before. That shit amazes me, boy.
You know
Sprained both of his ankles.
he's starting this
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
What
And you know
team
what's
is he on?
crazy?
I
Honestly,
don't
is
even know what team he's on.
Rams. Rams. Sam Donald versus Carson Wentz. Rams 49ers. Who would have thought? No, honestly, I'm shocked that Carson Wentz hasn't made a team. Honestly, he's better than some of the people we've seen this year. But that's besides the point. I'm not going to defend him because he kind of frustrated me. But yeah, I'm all over Titans here. I like the Titans. It was at 4.5. I liked it a lot more. 3.5. I still don't mind. I think it's going to be a field goal game regardless. We've seen Jacksonville when they play against good teams. They struggle. I'm not going to say the Titans are a good team, but this is a division game, so that kind of puts it back on a bit of an even playing field. This is Derrick Henry's last game. Potentially, he could run all over him like just one more time. I don't know. One thing I do really like though, D Hop to have over 7+ receptions. I don't know what the odds are in that. I need to double check it. They haven't had props. They finally have props out. They haven't had them out the whole time I've been looking, and I don't think they have any receiving yard stuff out. They only have touchdown scores. That's weird. All right, never mind. I like him over 7+ receptions and 50+ yards. That's for an incentive bonus for him to make a little bit more money. So we like that. And the backtrack real quick to the Colts game. I like Dalton Schultz to get over 41.5 yards and also 4.5 catches because of a similar situation. He also has some incentives to hit, and he'll hit him if he gets both of these.
You got to go with the Singletary, man.
Anytime?
Over everything. Singletary.
Why?
Texans, he got more incentives, and they've been using him since week 10.
Oh, does he have
for a reason.
incentive? Excuse me. Does he have incentives coming up too? I didn't see his. That's why.
Yeah, I would do him over Schultz. That's just personally, though. They just been using him a lot more, too. Since week 10, 3 100-yard games. If he
That's
goes
fair.
over 100 yards, they win the game. I think they're going to try and win the game more than try and get Dalton Schultz paid. And I think Singletary, with or without incentives, is going to get the ball.
Oh, yeah, no, this isn't like I think Dalton Colts are also like ranked 8th best against giving up stuff to the tight end. Like they just let tight ends kill them a lot, especially
Hell
like the
yeah.
good teams. So that's what made me think also like, well, this Dalton Schultz one might not be bad. The Diop one's my favorite one by far. This Schultz
Yeah.
one I could kind of live without. I agree with you. I would probably take Singletary, some of his stuff if he has more as well, but I just like Schultz as well because the Colts do love to give up stuff to tight ends. So wouldn't it be hilarious?
Take him
Kind of a
off.
fate of my
Fuck it.
team a little bit.
That would be
Tell you
crazy,
what, yep,
man.
it's week
They just-
18. It's week 18. The season's almost over.
Imagine going to Indianapolis, beating a division foe, and also all your players hit their incentives and get paid, and you just walk out of there with a W and go to the playoffs.
D'Amico Ryan's first year head coach, rookie quarterback. It would be a pretty great feeling.
Nah, that'd be a dance party
Can't
for
lie
sure.
to you. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome to see. Even if the Colts do lose, that would be awesome to see. As long as the Jaguars lose, I'll be happy because I would love to see the Texans in there if the Colts don't get
I
in.
ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be on that Titans with you. 100%. I'm gonna bet the Titans plus 3.5 with you.
Oh
Moving
yeah,
back to the NFC South, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Panthers 4.5 point dogs at home,
Yeesh.
over 37.5. I know there's no glimmer of hope, but if there was one, the Panthers are in Carolina. Do they have some at-home magic? Does Bryce Young want to send the fans home with a show for this season? Who the hell knows?
Maybe.
Uh, Part of me thinks the Bucks are just gonna blow it, just because it's Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. But part of me just knows that the Bucks are gonna win this game 33 to 3, and
Yep.
there's no hope.
I'm kind of in the same boat where it's like there is a deep, dark little spot in my mind. It's like, man, wouldn't it be hilarious if the Bucks did what the Bucks do? But no,
I mean, we
Bucks
showed
win.
out
They're
last
in.
week, but we're a lot better defensively than the damn Panthers.
Yeah, and that felt like Bucks have been hot for a little bit too. That felt like if there was anything called a it's due game, that was a due game for the Saints to beat their ass.
Yeah,
Hey, shout out to Saints. So I was impressed by that. It's like, oh man, they are beating that ass. Yeah, Bucks
I
winning.
was
They're in.
surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised by the score. I wasn't like if the Saints winning, I was like, oh, that's not bad, but beat them how they did. And the score was misleading. Like the Bucks basically got like two deep bombs that basically made it 14, or they get shut out.
Yeah,
Like that was wow. It just takes you back to the Saints. They've just been a weird year, weird year.
no
Yeah,
man,
Tampa Bay won.
my bad. You ain't gotta get on the
No, you're
Saints.
good.
Weird.
Weird season. I
Can't believe
100%
they
agree with you
lost to the
there.
damn Packers. That game's
Yeah,
been on me
I
all season, and now it's coming down to a playoff spot. I'm like, bruh.
that game haunted me in the opposite reason because I bet the Packers. And now I lost like seven of the last 8 bets I placed on them. I'm like, damn, are they not a good team? All right. No, we'll talk about Packers in a minute though. They have some clinching scenarios as well. Bucks winning they're in. Tampa Bay, they can still if New Orleans loses and Tampa Bay ties, they can still get in, and they can still clinch a playoff spot if they tie. They tie, Seattle loses, and Green Bay loses. So I'm assuming with 2 losses, uh, basically Tampa Bay loses. I don't think they're getting in. Is what this sounds like. They have to tie or win. So this is pretty big. Give me Mike Evans anytime touchdown. It's been plus. He's just scored all year. It's still plus money. They just refuse to not make it plus money. So it's like, all right, I'll keep betting it. Fine.
Yeah.
I know he didn't score last week, but that means he's just going to score this week. Then and give me the Bucks minus 4.5. If they're going to win this game, they're going to win by a lot of points. There's just no reason to play around and worry about money line. Try and do parlays. Just take the 4.5. If they're gonna win, they're going to beat them by over a touchdown. And if they don't, they sorry.
Hey,
They trash.
I agree with you. I will say the Panthers been a damn good covering team at home, believe it or not.
I do think that is the thing. That is the thing. It kind of does make me a little bit nervous. But it's like
I don't know why
you
I'm
want to talk
not.
about not playing for it.
Yeah.
They might play. I lied. I was about to say talk about not playing for anything, but they can knock a team out of the playoffs. Very similar situation to the Titans, so they got a little bit of motivation to play for. They also don't have their own pick, so it's like they. I guess the Bears already have it locked in at 1, so it kind of doesn't matter anyway either. Like it's yeah Panthers yeah.
They can't do it. Anyway, the New York
Oh man,
Jets,
Trash.
and the New England Patriots, baby. This game, I mean, they're playing for nothing but pride. Patriots minus 1.5 at home. Total set at 30 and the hook. I would bet Patriots if you put a gun to my head. Wouldn't do it voluntarily, but I think Belichick wants to win this game more than anybody else.
If you bet this game, I got a number for you. 1-800-9 with it. That's a number if you or someone you know has a gambling problem. Don't bet this game. Don't bet this game. It's so trash. I'm not on this game. I'll tell you what. If anything, yeah, I would maybe Belichick wins it, but I'm good. Like you want to talk about two teams playing for nothing, man.
Not a damn thing.
They got draft picks. They both want to lose for better draft picks. That's 1-800-9 with it.
Yeah. Minnesota Vikings talking about the NFC North. They're taking on the Detroit Lions. The
Oh man.
division winner, Detroit Lions. Haven't heard that in my lifetime. -3. Lions
Right.
are at home somehow, some way. Are they still playing for something? Total set at 45 in the hook. I can't believe the Lions would even play starters in this game.
Last I checked,
Seed.
at best, yeah, they can bump up a seed if like a few teams lose. I'm assuming if anything, they'll play guys for like a half and then they're sitting them. I don't expect anybody to play for more than a quarter on more than 2 quarters. I don't expect many people to play. They, like you said, they legit have basically nothing to play for. At worst, so I think if they move up or down a seed at that point, it doesn't really matter too much. Give me the Vikings +3. I like that 3.5. I don't mind it at 3. I guess I'll take the push. Nick Mullins is back starting again,
Yes.
which I don't know why they benched him to begin with. Because if you watch Jaron Hall, yeah, Nick Mullins I think has a chance. I'm gonna like Justin Jefferson to score anytime in this game as well. He scored against the Lions last week, and if you checked when the Lions were playing all their starters a few weeks ago, Nick Mullins 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, threw for 411 yards, came down to a final drive basically with a chance to win. So. And it was, I think, about 3 points about to cover. So why not? We'll take it. I think they'll keep it close at least.
I can dig it. Keep it in that division. The Bears, they're taking on the Green Bay Packers. Packers -3 at home. Lambeau Field, total set at 45. Where you at on this game? I have nothing for you.
We got 6 clinching scenarios. I lied, 8. Oh, 6. What do you got? You on something, you think?
I don't know. 45 just
Bear-
feels a little low. But
I definitely feel you there. Bears haven't won, I think, in like 18 years or 18 games or something like that. It's something bad where the Bears just haven't beat them in so long. So like the Bears are playing to finally beat the Green Bay Packers. If you remember, this was the game that opened the season, and the Packers just hand to ass, basically. This game's gonna be a little bit different. Bears defense is one of the top 5 in the NFL. It's hearing something yesterday makes me realize the Bears are probably gonna get rid of Justin Fields the more I think about it. Ryan Poles wasn't that's not Ryan Poles' guy. If you really, really look deep into the stats, which I started to a little bit, they have a top 5 defense over this last stretch when they've been playing really, really well. That's not to say that Justin Fields hasn't shown any promise. It's just the more you think about it, it's going to be cheaper. Get a rookie, get a guy on a rookie number, and then you'll be able to play other guys versus signing a guy to a second contract. Because we all know the second quarterback contract is a hole in your pocket, massive hole. That's the ones that everyone's getting record setting on. Like I said, that's for the Packers side of it. Green Bay is in the playoffs if they win. Win and you're in. That's what the Green Bay Packers got to play for. Or if they tie with a Seattle loss or tie, or a New Orleans loss or a Tampa Bay loss, they have a chance to get in. So they need one of those 2 teams to lose. They also need Minnesota to lose or tie, Seattle to lose, and then Tampa Bay or New Orleans to both lose. So between those 6 scenarios, the easiest one is just win and you're in. I trust the Packers to potentially get this done just based on the track history. They just own the Bears. Justin Fields also just came out and said that Packers fans have nothing to do. That's why their fan base is so good. There's nothing to do around Green Bay. So that's going to be a little bit of a Justin, your ass. Can't wait to hear that a few times through the TV. It's going to be a fun one, I think. This will be exciting. I lean Packers. I don't think I got a bet in it, but I'm probably going to end up taking Packers at some point because why not?
hey, why not? 3 years ago, they had just drafted Justin Fields, and I was sitting in a room with a Bears fan, and I was telling him how horrible their team was, and and he said that they got their savior in the draft, and I looked at him dead in the eyes, and I laughed as hard as I've
Man,
ever laughed, a fake laugh, but I wanted him to know
I,
how hilarious the thought of Justin Fields being the savior of a franchise is. Justin
hey,
Fields, big trash.
trust me. I'm trying to find this video. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it in time. I have a video of when he's drafted. The whole room erupts like, "Let's go! We got our guy!" And I'm sitting there. It's just like it's not bad, but like
Man, please. The Dallas Cowboys, baby. 13.5 point favorites taking on the Washington Commanders. Did you hear? Sam Howell starting. The total set at 47 and a hook. If I had to bet this game, which I will bet this game, I'm on the over, baby. Over 47.5. Dallas, Washington.
Dallas. Dallas can clinch the NFC East with a win, a tie, and a Philly loss, or Philly. Or sorry, if they both tie, if Dallas and Philly both tie, if Dallas wins and Philly loses, they win the division. So I think, will at least keep people in for a half. I just don't. I just don't know how long they're gonna keep guys in. I don't think the Commanders keep it close. That's the biggest thing. So it's just like I don't want to take anything prop wise in this game because I don't know how long the starters are gonna stay in. I don't know how
Yeah.
close this game will be, but all Dallas has to do is win and they're in. By the way, I forgot to read this off earlier. So San Francisco has clinched the number 1 seed, first round by home field advantage. Detroit Lions clinched the NFC North. Dallas Cowboys are for sure in the playoff. Rams for sure in the playoff. Philadelphia Eagles for sure in the playoffs. Everything else is on the table wide open. I forgot to establish that before we started, so I just want to throw that back in there because yeah, I got nothing on this game really. The spread's way too big. If I'm going to take anything, I'll take CD Lamb to score. He's scored now, I think like 8, 9 games in a row. If he can get in early, I'll like it. But the longer he goes without scoring, the worse I'm going to feel about it. Let's just say that because I don't know how long that boy going to stay out there.
Yes,
If he's even
sir.
playing, I don't even know if he's playing.
Hey,
I'm assuming.
you know more than
I'm
me.
assuming because they want to clinch home field, but that's just my guess. I would assume they'd play at least clinch home field. But yeah, this game could be literally 30-0 at half, and then we don't see anybody for the second half.
Yeah, I would like it. Give me the Seahawks. Don't give me the Seahawks. Seahawks, they're taking on the Cardinals. Seahawks -3. The Cardinals +3 at home in Glendale, Arizona. Cardinals, Seahawks. This game's for the birds. Total set at 47 in the hook. Where you at on this game?
Man, James Conner, anytime touchdown. He
Oh,
ran all over the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he'll run all over the Seahawks. The Seahawks' run defense has been not the best. I'm trying to see what James Conner is for 2-time touchdown plus 470. Not horrible. I might be on that potentially as well, but I just think James Conner will have a good day to end it this year. I think they'll end their season strong. I can see the Cardinals at least covering, but yeah, I'm not. Like you said, it's for the birds. I'm not betting this game because I'm going to be trying to. There's a few other games that might get some action on that matter a little bit more. I
Seahawks,
do think Seattle.
yeah, talk to me there.
I was about to say they have some clinching scenarios. So they can clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Green Bay loss, a tie Green Bay loss, Tampa Bay loss, or a tie Green Bay loss, New Orleans loss. So they need Green Bay to lose really bad. So they're going to be Green Bay. They play. So Seahawks and Green Bay play at the same time. So Seahawks are going to definitely be trying to win the game, but don't be shocked if the Arizona Cardinals Stadium flashes something, and if the Bears are winning, you see the Seattle Seahawks players' motivation dip a little bit. Like that's a real thing that's happened before, where they show the live game on the feed in games. You can just see the players reacting, all either super sad or super happy. So I think, like I said, Seattle definitely is fighting for something here. So that makes me not want to bet this game at all because I just don't know if they're going to do it. They've been a
Let
really
me
weird team this year.
let me throw this at you one more time. I don't think you understood me earlier. And this is just my own parody this weekend. If we win, we have to root for the Panthers. And if the Panthers win, I mean if the Panthers lose and the Bucks win, then I'm rooting for the Bears and the Cardinals. Saints ain't making the damn playoffs, man. Uh
Yeah, I didn't hear those last two. I missed the Cardinals and the Bears. I missed those
yeah, because I need Seahawks and
Yeesh.
Packers to lose.
Yeah, I won't lie. Your team does pop up a lot in those clinching scenarios, huh?
Yeah. Oh, it's getting ugly. Rams, baby.
Man,
They're taking on the 49ers. You said it earlier. Sam Darnold,
Carson,
Carson Wentz.
Sam
This
Darnold.
game is going to be an instant classic, baby. 49ers -4, total set at 41.5. I'd be surprised if this game gets over 25.
Ah, man, I
Philadelphia
can't tell you.
Eagles. No. Philadelphia
Yes,
Eagles
basically.
minus
No,
five
but
and a half on the road, taking on the New York Football Giants. Tyrod Taylor getting the start here for the New York Giants. Total set at 41 in the hook. Do the Eagles bounce back? Do the Eagles give a damn? Uh, are the Eagles just waiting to lose in the first round of the playoffs?
by the way, to go back to the last game, though, I definitely do not have anything. That's basically as toss up as it gets with two backups. Two teams are already in, or gain nothing. So I just want to establish that for people who thought we weren't taking their team seriously.
Oh no,
Nothing's happening. I
y'all
no,
already
but
in the playoffs, man.
yeah, we'll celebrate y'all next week. That's what
Yeah,
basically comes down to, and the week after. But no, back to this
great
game.
season.
Good job. Yeah, great, good. Hey, no, honestly, this is a great place to be. Like, you should be happy that you get to basically sit back this weekend, kind of just see how it plays out. I won't lie though. I kind of hope it plays out. If it does, it Jared Goff, Matt Stafford, revenge game for both of those guys against their former teams. Wouldn't it be hilarious? Matt Stafford comes back to Detroit, throws for 500 yards. and then just throws
Can't
all.
do it.
That'll be a fun one. That'll
You
be a
know it's
fun
gonna
one.
be
Back
the
to this Giants game. Oh, what's up?
Flacco eliminating the Ravens. That's the one I'm waiting for.
I tell you, hey, I hate to be that guy. I'm not gonna say anything, but at plus 3,700, I might, or whatever it is, maybe 37,000. I might have missed the future on a Browns 49ers Super Bowl. Not the proudest thing I've done. I'm not gonna lie to you, but footsteps, baby. No, Giants money line is actually, I think, in play here. The Giants were very liable to steal that game last week. 5.5. Basically, the line tells you what the books think. I think the Eagles were double-digit favorites last week in Philadelphia. Now they come in. I mean, they're still favorited, obviously, but this is at home. It'd probably be closer, like 8-10 for the Eagles. After what I saw them do to the Giants last week, I just don't know what this Eagles team is. They really had some lows last week against the Cardinals as well. They were giving up a lot of stuff on the run. So I'm going to be looking at some Saquon Barkley props for this game. That's where my eyes going to be leaning at after watching what they did at the run last week. They should not be getting run on like that. That was
Embarrassing.
bad. They have probably one of the worst linebacking cores in the NFL at this point. I think just watching. I've heard that multiple times now, and after watching, it's like, man, they might be right. And I just don't know what it is. It's funky, man.
Man, you just made me think of something else. That ain't got nothing to do with football. Colorado, baby. It's supposed to be the best offense in the Pac-12 this year. These put up 50 points.
Bro,
I can't even
that
say they put
over.
up 50. They put up 40 something. They just ended up getting
That
to
over,
50.
man. I'm sitting there, it's like Arizona did their job, and I'm watching Colorado. It's like, man, these boys are gonna score or what? God damn.
I don't even
It's
get
like the
it.
same thing that happened to the Colorado football team. They were getting hyped up. They play Oregon. Wax.
Man, I never been more like, bro, what are y'all doing?
I didn't see
Arizona's
it.
not even a good defensive team. They
They're just not
giving
making
up
shots.
90 points a game, and you come in there as touted the best offense in the pack.
Didn't they give up
I
100
forgot
to
who said
Stanford?
that. Huh?
Didn't they give up
Yeah.
100 to Stanford too, basically?
Yeah. Nah, it is absolutely baffling. Speaking of Colorado,
Man, I
Denver,
only laughed
baby.
because I lost money too.
Oh, it broke my heart.
Hey,
I thought I almost,
yeah,
bro, I was cocky as hell. I looked at the score like beginning of the game. I was like, oh, Arizona about to drop 100. Colorado would get rolling at some point. Even at halftime, I was thinking like, okay, now they both gonna put up like 50, go back and forth, bucket for
bro.
bucket.
That's like
Colorado
I
just
hate to say
folded.
it. That's like a women's basketball score when it's like UConn. That was like back in the day when UConn was playing somebody when they were on like that 200 win streak. They were just
Yeah,
beating teams like 100-48. That's what made me think of that. It's like, man, what is going on, boys? Them Buffalo boys,
first thing I thought of this morning was these motherfuckers ain't even scored 50.
right? That's 50
Uh,
in a generation where it feels like there's no defense ever played. They couldn't score 50. Wow.
crazy. Denver Broncos, baby. Trying to hold it down
Speaking
for
of
State
Colorado,
Colorado. Yeah. Las Vegas, the Raiders. They're at home in Vegas, the beautifulest city in the world. -2.5, baby. Vegas is at home. They're trying to get their coach a damn job. Total set at
get that.
37 in the hook. I ain't got nothing for this damn game. If I had to root for it, I'd be rooting for Sean Payton. But F him at the end of the day.
Did we talk about how the Vikings could make the playoffs?
Uh, I
I
don't
don't think
think
we
so.
did. I was just reading because there is no clinching here, but I'll talk about this game in a second. I just thought about it. Philadelphia too. Philadelphia can win the NFC East with a win and a Dallas loss, or if they tie and Dallas loses, Philadelphia has a chance to win their division. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. But I think we talked about most of the other. We have like, yeah, I think we've talked about most of them at least. There's one more game we got to talk about. I'm assuming that has clinching scenarios, but for this game, right? Wait, my fault. I never talked about the Vikings. Vikings, if they win, Green Bay lost, Seattle lost, and Tampa Bay lost, or Minnesota wins, Green Bay lost, Seattle lost, New Orleans lost. So basically, it's Green Bay, Seattle, and then basically the NFC, one of those NFC South teams. It's how the Minnesota Vikings can backdoor their way into the playoffs. Makes you wonder why they started Jared Hall last weekend when they had a chance to make the playoffs. They beat the Packers. Weird.
Definitely, definitely. Not going into
Vikings
that
minus
game.
2.5. Go ahead. Sorry, you can go ahead. I didn't know you were going to talk about the game more. I thought you were about to move on, so I wanted to throw that in there real quick.
No, I think
Go
like
ahead. What were you gonna say about Packers Vikings?
going into that game, I knew whoever won that game would have to lose next week for us to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. That's just wild to think that like the Vikings basically just like almost succeeded putting in Jaron Hall. That's what it felt like.
Oh no, they
That's why,
did.
and that's honestly why they got their ass blown out. I feel like if you watch the boys did not seem motivated to play at all.
No,
Not at all. That defense was not flying around like it usually has been this season.
no, it's the purple, man. It's hard to feel like you
Playoff
wear
team in
purple
purple,
every day of
orange,
your
or
life.
blue.
Anyway, anything on this Broncos
Shout out
Raiders?
Ravens.
Any way they
Yeah.
make it? Are they both out?
I will take no. Both I think both these teams are done. They got nothing to play for at this point. Broncos were officially eliminated with their last loss. The Raiders, I think, have been eliminated for I think they got eliminated when I think the week after the Chiefs game when the Chiefs clinched the division. I think when the Chiefs clinched, both these teams were done. But I think the Raiders do win this game. I like Devontae Adams to score at plus 130. Again, I like for him to do something. I like for the Raiders to win this game. John Payton, he's playing for next year. A loss helps them a little bit more draft picks and just focusing on next season. I think they're already starting to look ahead to next season, how he can build this roster versus the Raiders. They're looking to next season the opposite way. They want to get this guy hired because last time this happened, Rich Bisaccia, I think he won their last game, made the playoffs. I think lost in the playoffs potentially, and they didn't sign him back. So this feels like a whole different situation time around. It feels like the boys are really because I mean they played hard for Antonio Pierce. I'm going to be pissed if this guy doesn't get a job at this point. I definitely think he's earned the job. He's going to be one of the first coaches in a while too that isn't like a coordinator. So I really love that part of it too. That like one, not only is he a former football guy, he's not even a coordinator, so he can focus on everything else. Like he's not going to be sitting there calling plays and then not get a chance to watch the defense because he's working on his next offensive call. Like he's going to be solely focused on like the working the refs, the situations, and that's what's really huge. And like I said, he's one of the boys basically. I mean, you watch how the guys play for him. I haven't seen the Raiders team play this hard in years. Like this is taking me back a few years. And it's awesome to see because I'll admit it, I'm a slight little bit of a Raiders fan. It's awesome to see the Raiders be good and nasty. And also shout out Max Crosby all last game with the Colts. Anytime I went past Gardner, little ass boy,
Yeah.
little ass boy. That shit was hilarious. Literally, anytime he's in the backfield, he's like, little ass boy. And then apparently on the bench later, Gardner Minshew's just going, he's like, I'm little out here, but I'm not on the outside world,
Yeah.
I love Gardner Minshew, man. Just listen to that guy talk.
Oh yeah.
Love
He
that
could care
dude.
less.
Love that man. But yeah, the Raiders in this game. Gardner's my man, though. Shout out Gardner. I hope the Colts get him back. I am nervous he's going to go somewhere and make a good amount of money.
I doubt it. Kansas City
I
Chiefs,
doubt
baby.
So subtle. I doubt it. All right, Kansas City Chiefs. This is my boy Gardner.
I mean, everybody knows what he is by now.
Yeah.
He
No,
had
he's a
chance.
really what?
I mean, everybody saw him ball out with the Eagles last year and didn't balling out with y'all this year. He was decent in the Jaguars.
I'm just scared that somebody's going to give him a little bit too much money that we won't pay since we have Anthony Richardson. Because he's a great backup, great locker room guy too at this point. He's one of those. He's one of the guys. Like they come out all year and they've said like how he's come out and helped Anthony Richardson and like been a great mentor to him. And that's what I think the league needs to get back to a lot. I mean, you saw what Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco's helping out when he was with the Jets, I believe. Like that's the good part of the game is when the old guys are teaching the young guys. That's what football needs to get more back towards. Because I think like when you were growing up with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, Brett's like, "Good luck, buddy. Hold my jock strap and I'll tell you what to do." It's that, and like it's nice when you see guys help
teach you, son. Watch this.
Yes, basically. And yeah, Gardner Minshew's a great locker room guy. And that's what I think has been the biggest thing with the Colts this year. You need locker room guys. You need locker rooms like Derek Carr. I hate to say it. I don't think he's a locker room guy. Jimmy Graham, that's a locker room guy. Like he hasn't been the biggest thing this year, but he's been so pivotal, I think, to that team and helping keep them on course.
No, Derek Carr is locker room poison. Kansas City Chiefs, baby. They're taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers minus 3.5. Total set at 35. And the hook. The Chiefs, man. You didn't think they'd ever get to this point of the season where they could just take a deep breath, but they finally did it. They're playoff bound. They're going to the dance. Chargers minus 3.5 still seems ridiculously crazy to me. However, I can give a hot hammer about this game. And I'll just be waiting for Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. The only thing that does kind of suck about Sunday Night Football is the Dolphins did clinch a playoff berth. Yeah, like we said, I didn't read off all the AFC. Baltimore's 1 seed AFC titles clinched. Kansas City, they're for sure AFC West, like you just said. They're home, so they're in. They already announced that Mahomes isn't playing. I doubt Kelsey plays. Rashee Rice, I don't know if he's going to play. I doubt Pacheco plays. There's going to be a lot of guys sitting in this game, so I'm good. I ain't betting on Easton Stick. Hell no. I'm probably just going to end up
Understood.
staying away. And then the Sunday night game, the Dolphins are in, but there is some clinching scenarios. This is going to be a fun one. Of all the 4 o'clock games, this Chiefs Chargers game, ironically, is probably going to be the worst. There's actually more implications on the rest of the other ones than kind of that one. Like even Cardinals Seahawks is probably going to be more fun.
Oh, for sure. Seahawks trying to get in that thing. Your boy Gino, man, $2 million if they make it.
Woo!
All you gotta do is make
Shout
it.
out Gino, boy.
Buffalo Bills, baby. The most overrated, greatest team in the history of sports. The Bills minus 2.5 on the road, taking on this season's most overrated team, the Miami Dolphins, plus 2.5 at home. Total set at 48.5. I mean, every time I think about this game, I'd rather eat a bowl of toenails. Where you at on this game? I could care less. I'm not gonna bet it. Probably won't even watch it, to be honest with you.
I don't know about toenails, but I might be in boogers with you. No, this is a nasty game, honestly. Man, I didn't mind the Dolphins at 3, and then I remembered I got reminded about all their injuries, so then I didn't like it. I for sure as hell don't like it at 2.5. I can tell you that much right now. We'll go over clinching real quick. Bills clinched the AFC East division title with a win. Miami Dolphins clinched it with a win or tie. So all Miami has to do is win or tie. They get a home playoff game. So I think they're going to try to play for that because that Miami Heat might be a little bit of something for some of these playoff teams versus playing in the Buffalo North. Like that's going to be a pivotal game, honestly, because the way you look at it, if the Colts win and get that wild card spot, this is pretty much I think the Colts going to be the Colts opponent. It's either the Bills or the Dolphins, and I think the Dolphins are more liable to get got in the playoffs if they make it there. The Bills, although they are more injured, the Dolphins I think have lost more key injuries these last few weeks. But at least I think the Bills can still. My bad, I went to the NFC. I think the Bills can still make the playoffs even with a win. They can make the playoffs with a Buffalo tie or Pittsburgh loss or tie, Jacksonville loss or tie, Houston Indy tie. So if Pittsburgh or Jacksonville loses, Buffalo's in. If like we said, their ties are in. So it's like I hate to say it, man. I really hate to say it, but I might be leaning Buffalo here. It's disgusting. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel awful.
Yeah.
Josh Allen or Tua. It's like man, I don't mind these boys at all, but it's like I want to put my hard-earned cash on it.
You
Man,
can't do
this
it.
is tough. Yeah, I don't think I can take Dolphins if they're like under 3, especially with injuries. Like they lost both their pass rushers at this point, Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. Losing Bradley Chubb last week, the way they lost him too, with the game basically over, and he just gets hurt. You hate to see it. Man, I don't think I can take anything in this game. I'm probably going to take like Raheem Mostert to score if he's in because he's been scoring a lot. Probably take something for Tyreek Hill. It'll probably be more of a profit game for me, but I'm definitely excited to watch.
Nah, yeah, I might tune in. I can care
It's
less,
going to be a
honestly.
fun watch, but this is
I
a
think
playoff. This
both
is
of
going to
these
be a
teams are
playoff
gonna
game.
lose first round, second round. These ain't gonna
Good.
be no Super Bowl teams, no championship teams. I could be wrong
I
though.
think you might be right about that. I don't know. It feels like the 49ers and the Browns, the 49ers and Ravens are so far ahead of everybody else. And then you start to trickle down a little bit. I would almost honestly take the Browns over these two teams, even though it's crazy to say that, I feel like.
No, I think it's
Just
an
the way
easy
their
pick
defense,
right
they're a
now.
lot healthy. So what?
I said I think that's an easy pick right now.
Man, I hate to say it truthfully, but it's like I just looking at like I know the Browns have injuries too, but it's just like, man, you watch the way the Browns have been playing versus the way these two teams have been playing. They're all eerily similar. It's just like that boy Joe Flacco. He's going to give 2 interceptions away, but what's crazy is the Browns already count that in for their defense and everything. So the way they're
Yeah.
playing, you can already expect it. So it's wild, man. Yeah, I mean, with the deep ball, the biggest thing is the deep ball too. I think that's what matters so much about all these teams. Is all these teams, especially I think the Bills are the worst when it comes to the deep ball, and then it's like I'll probably say Dolphins are better than the Browns overall, but it's just like those splash plays, man. That's what all these teams, especially late, have been getting really good with those splash plays. It's man, I don't know. I just talked myself into all 3 of these teams. It's
Yeah.
really hard, but I also got that ticket on the Browns Super Bowl, so it's like, well,
The thing about me, the Browns is the one team out of these three, when you're talking Bills, Dolphins, Browns, that I think can go on the road and win. I think Bills and
yes.
Dolphins at home are a great bet. On the road, I think they're all shaky. But I think the Browns, I don't think they drop off too much on the road. You got a guy like Flacco
No.
who's played everywhere 10 times already. And that defense, you know what they say in any sport, defense travels, offense follows along. Defense is going to be there regardless. I don't think they're scared to play anybody. I think they're kind of just excited that everything's worked out after all the injuries, and I think they're ready to roll, man. Whereas Bills and Dolphins, I think they just feel a lot of pressure on them. I think they go on the road and just
Oh yeah.
lay a dud.
Especially if you go with that aspect of it as well. The Browns have nothing to lose. They've been shite for forever, and it's just like this is one of their best chances. This is one of their best chances to finally do something. I don't think there's pressure at all. I think you saw their reaction. I think they are ecstatic. I think it's been great. And one more thing we forgot to add in too. The Dolphins and Bills don't got 95 on their defense. 95 is a game record. He single-handedly beat the Colts. Like it came down to some bullshit penalties in the end zone, but they ended up, of course, scoring a touchdown, even though the Colts got 2 stops. But I mean, block kicked, sack fumble in the end zone. I think Miles Garrett had another forced fumble. I mean, he single-handedly could just wreck games. And the Dolphins lost their game records. The Bills really haven't had theirs all season, so that's another reason I think as well the Browns actually stand a legit chance.
Definitely, my man. I appreciate you
Woo!
coming on, giving me
No, I
hour
appreciate you,
of your
man.
time, talking some football, baby. I can't wait for playoffs. Honestly, I wish this week would already be over with. Believe it or not, I can care less about
Yeah,
watching
same
another
here.
Saints game if it's not a playoff game at this point. Oh, especially
I tell
Derek
you what.
Carr. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm ready to get this. I'm ready to get this off season, or not this off season. Sorry, this playoff season rocking, man. It's nothing like playoff football. I tell you what.
No, I'm geeked, man. Definitely geeked. Man, I look forward to having you on next week to talk playoff football. Is there a weekend between playoff games, or do they start next weekend?
We start next weekend, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
see,
the Ravens and the 49ers. I'll double check it right now real quick. I think the Ravens and 49ers are the only teams that get time off. I
no,
believe
that makes
because
sense. The top two seeds get a bye.
yep, and I think it's I think they just changed it recently because I think there used to be I forget there used to be something I do believe they changed it recently though. Superstar Wildcard Weekend is on the 13th, so it starts. Wait, you know what you said about Google, right? God damn, show me last season's. What the hell,
You can't
dude?
you can't try to Google.
I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with my mind. I don't think there's a gap.
No, I don't think so either. I don't even know why I asked a dumbass question like that.
It just makes you just got me question. They got the current. Do they have the schedule? If this is not it, I'm just gonna say I don't know. I don't think they do though. I can't find it because you know how Google is. You look up one thing, they show you thing 3 years ago now. Somehow Google got worse over the years. Makes no damn sense.
It's horrible, man. Horrible.
But yeah, no, I
January
believe that all
13th
those games
though.
are.
Saturday.
See, that's
Next
why
Saturday.
it's a Thursday. Oh, oh,
Saturday the 13th.
yep. So we are right. So it was right. My fault. My phone, I guess, when I was scrolling and looking, when it was in 2023, like for the calendar. So that's why I was like, wait, 13th doesn't seem right. That's a Tuesday. There ain't no game on a Tuesday. Yeah, no, so no gap. We get Super Wild Card Weekend next weekend. I think there's two games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, something like that.
2 Saturday, 3 Sunday, and 1 on Monday
Oh, we even
night.
get a Monday night wild card. That
Hey,
boy Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, end us off for the wild card. Yeah,
bring it to you live.
Mitchell, Mitchell, Mitchell. Do you remember that call?
Uh-uh.
I'll end with this. There's a guy who's on a kick return. He's basically taking back a kick on it was some play in the game, and he's literally just running by everybody. And Joe Buck, Mitchell, 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 down to the 30. It's like, bro, if you ain't watching the what? This guy is having an insane run. Like he juked somebody out. He is like starting to burn past people. And Joe Buck just Mitchell,
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Hey,
no,
that's why I watch my games on mute, baby.
Oh man, shout out Joe Buck, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout
Man, I
out.
can't wait to talk some playoffs next week. I appreciate you coming on today. Go Colts,
Yeah.
go Saints.
Hey,
I appreciate
hashtag
you.
shoe. We need it this
Hashtag
weekend.
for the shoe. My man Jaden Chandler Parnell. You can follow him on Twitter at Jaden95 Chandler. Also check out his YouTube at the JC Pod. My man, I appreciate you. Definitely looking forward to talking to you next week.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to see you next week. It's gonna next time I'm on, people. Woo. It's going to be in the air, that
Yes,
playoff
sir.
atmosphere. I might be depressed too. I'm not going to lie to you. If the Colts don't make the playoffs, I might not show up because I might be in my closet
Nah,
hanging around a little bit, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink.
nah, you be all right.
But nah, Colts got it
You
for the
used
shoe,
to it.
baby. No, yeah, honestly, if anything, it wouldn't be. I wouldn't even be shocked. Go Colts, baby. Let's get it. I can't wait to see everyone next week. I'll be talking to you a little bit about some basketball tonight.
Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. Yes, sir. Captain via hook with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live, baby. It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday, the fifth day of the year, the fifth day of January. Talk a little bit about some college hoops. Man, oh man, Arizona dog walked Colorado last night. Uh, getting back on track after losing to Stanford. Michigan State also gets their first conference win, 1-2 now in the Big Ten after walking the dog as well against Penn State. Michigan falls by 2 at home to Minnesota. Memphis, man, barely gets out of there alive against Tulsa. They're now 2-0, 1-0 in the American. Shout out to Memphis. Boy, oh boy, I got too many tickets on their future to win this conference. They win 78-75 over Tulsa. James Madison barely covers by the hair on my chin 68-61 over the Louisiana Lafayette. Gonzaga wins by 26. Shout out to them. Um, what else happened last night? Covering 3 days of college hoops, baby. Pretty sure that was it. Oregon. Hey, I loved Oregon yesterday. Money line was +2 something. Oregon takes care of business against Washington. Oregon now 3-0 in the Pac-12. Oregon looking great. 76-74 victory for them. Grand Canyon, baby, they're now 13-1, 3-0 in their conference. Grand Canyon looking like it. They dropped 96 as they beat Southern Utah by 21. Long Beach State, shout out to them. They're now 10-5. They get the victory over Cal Poly. Arizona State gets a 12-point win over the Utes. Arizona State, man, struggled non-conference. Don't look now. 3-0. The Sun Devils are in Pac-12 play. Arizona State 3-0 in conference play. Boy, oh boy, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself. And then St. Mary's gets the 11-point victory over San Diego to go 1-0 in the WCC. Tonight, a few big games going down. Uh, Two games I want to talk about. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go to Saturday. We're going to go to Saturday's games. I said in the beginning of the show, I'll break it down again real quick. These are my numbers for Saturday's games. Uh, dot dot d dot boo, bet the difference. If you don't understand it, I apologize. Um, for Saturday, Marquette, they're taking on Seton Hall. I'm gonna take Marquette -2.5 on the road. I'm gonna look for a number around there. I can see Seton Hall being the home favorite. If that's the case, I will take Marquette on the money line. I think Marquette walks away from Seton Hall with a victory here. Uh, -2.5 is the number I have for that game. North Carolina, they're also on the road taking on Clemson. Give me North Carolina. -4 is the number I have for that game. And then you got Pittsburgh keeping it in the ACC, taking on Louisville, baby. We're gonna go Pittsburgh -7.5. Then moving down south to the SEC, we're gonna take Kentucky. They're gonna be down there in Florida, taking on those Gators, opening off their SEC conference schedule. Give me Kentucky, baby, -3.5 in Florida, taking on the Gators. Moving over to the Big East, St. John's 2-1 in the Big East, taking on the number 1 team, Villanova, who's 3-0. Give me Nova at home -3.5. I think St. John's is an excellent team. I think they put up a fight. I think Nova wins this one around 4 or 5. Give me -3.5 on Nova. Kansas, Big 12. Kansas taking on TCU, Texas Christian University. Give me Kansas -5.5. I think Kansas, they know what to do. They're going to kick this Big 12 season off, right? Give me Kansas -5.5. Keeping it in the Big 12. This team's first Big 12 game ever. I'm talking about the Houston Cougars taking on West Virginia. Give me Houston, baby. Give me Houston -8. I'd take it up to 9.5. Think Houston gets a double-digit victory. I would hope I can get a number around 8.5, just for my sake. Creighton, going back to the Big East here, baby. Creighton taking on Providence. Providence going to be down a huge key factor for the rest of the season with an ACL tear. Creighton looking to get back on track. Give me Creighton at home to cover a 6.5 point spread. Creighton -6.5 taking on Providence. Auburn. Give me Auburn +4. I don't know if they'll get a plus number on Auburn. They're going to be in Arkansas this weekend taking on Pig Suey. But give me Auburn, baby, +4. That's the number I have for the game. Probably be a game I stay away from, in all honesty. Virginia, they're -3 in my head, taking on North Carolina State. I will be looking for a Virginia -3 ticket somewhere around there. Virginia -3, baby. Miami. Trying to go to Miami. Give me Miami -2. They're taking on Wake Forest. I think Miami gets the victory. Wake Forest, I talked about them earlier in the week. Under the radar team, not only in the ACC, but across the nation. Wake Forest 10-3 on the year, 2-0 in ACC play. Miami also 2-0 in ACC play. Give me Miami -2.5. And then you got Nebraska this afternoon, Saturday afternoon, taking on Wisconsin. Give me Wisconsin at home, baby. Wisconsin -3.5. Kese Tominaga. Not enough for Nebraska to get this one. I think Wisconsin's the better team. Give me Wisconsin -3 and a hook. Moving on down. James Madison, baby. They're taking on Southern Miss. I'm going to be looking to take James Madison as single-digit favorites all conference season long. Give me James Madison at -5.5 again. They barely covered this number last night. Think they cover it again. After that, we got San Diego State, baby. Moving on to the big, bad wolf that San Diego State is. They are taking on UNLV, the Running Rebels. This is a 3 o'clock game on Saturday. Give me San Diego State -12.5 at home. Biggest number I got that I'll probably take, but I like San Diego State to win this one by 15 or more. Definitely going to be a closer game early. I think San Diego State runs away with it late. UNLV, the Running Rebels. This will be their first Mount West game. Next game we're going to go to is a Big Ten matchup, baby. Prime time basketball. We're talking. I ain't gonna lie. This is a great slate of games. Ole Miss, Tennessee, Iowa State, Oklahoma, Duke, Notre Dame. I would be looking at some totals in that game. I'm gonna be looking at that Duke over anywhere around 144. Oklahoma, Iowa State go either way. I would take Iowa State up to a certain number, +6 maybe, -4. I'd probably take Oklahoma. I'd have to see. Don't really have anything on that game. Ole Miss and Tennessee going to be a great test for Ole Miss. I think Tennessee runs away with that one. I would take Tennessee -7 at home against Ole Miss. However, I would not be surprised if Ole Miss came in and got the upset. But I think Ole Miss is about to get a wake-up call once they hit SEC play because they have had a pretty easy non-conference schedule. Moving on to the next game I got for you. I told you, it's some Big East basketball, some Big Ten basketball. Sheesh. Ohio State, baby. They're going to Indiana. Give me Ohio State -4.5. One of my favorite teams this season, period. Ohio State. Give me them -4.5. They have a good one Can Colorado come back and do the damn thing? They're taking on Arizona State. Arizona State undefeated in Pac-12 play. Definitely be a game I keep my eyes on. Utah, the Utes, they're taking on Arizona. I think Arizona wins every game now by 40. Just my honest thought. I think that Stanford game was a wake-up call, and we saw what they did against Colorado. Texas Tech, Texas will definitely be a game to watch. I'm taking Texas 4.5, 5, somewhere around there if I can get it. Few more games to talk about. Colorado State, baby. They're going to be on the road taking on Utah State. This is going to be a must-watch game if you like Mount West basketball. And if you don't like Mount West basketball, then you probably don't like college basketball. Colorado State, give me the money line. I think they'll be plus something. I'm going to take them plus whatever and the money line. Definitely be all over that. Texas A&M and LSU will be a good game. I'd take LSU plus 8, plus 9. I don't think this will be a double-digit game at all. I do think Texas A&M wins at home. However, keeping it down in the WAC, Grand Canyon, they're taking on Utah Tech. Give me GCU, Grand Canyon. I'll be looking to take their over anywhere in the 140s or 50s, probably up to 154, 155. Also, give me Grand Canyon minus 11 and the hook. One of my favorite bets this weekend to look for is Grand Canyon University minus 11.5. And then moving on down back to the Pac-12, you got Oregon. They're on the road taking on Washington State. Give me Oregon on the road minus 2.5. If they're plus money again, I'm gonna make the books pay. Give me Oregon minus 2.5 on the road taking on Washington State. And then in the late game, Wyoming taking on New Mexico. Give me New Mexico bouncing back from a loss at Colorado State. New Mexico minus 7.5. That's the damn numbers I got for you for Saturday. Now let's move on to today, Friday. How you like it now? It's Captain by a Hook, baby, with the red beard, Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs. Going live. College basketball bets for tonight, Friday. I need somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton. One bet tonight. Get to it shortly. I do want to talk about Illinois Purdue. Me and JCP talked about it a little bit. I actually do think Purdue can cover this 10.5. I think Illinois, as great as they are, I think they are the second best team in the Big Ten, and I definitely think they are going to be a Sweet 16 team. I think the shooters are going to learn tonight how to shoot on the road. That lane's going to be clogged up with Edie in there. I just don't see Illinois getting things rolling tonight specifically. Could be wrong. Not betting this game. Purdue minus 10.5 would be the lean. However, I think if Illinois keeps it close, I'd take Illinois' money line before I take the plus 10.5. It might be one of those weird scenarios where I could lose both ways because I got Illinois' money line, Purdue minus 10.5. Purdue wins by 8. But anyway, you shake it. Gonna be a great game to watch. The one game that I'm betting tonight that I got my money on is UConn, Connecticut. They're taking on Butler. Give me UConn minus 5.5. UConn wins this game by 8 or more easily. As great as Butler is, and as good as Butler is at home. Also, this is going to be a good one. Jim Calhoun, for those who don't know, coach of Butler, I believe, right? Did he retire? I should have did this. I'm 90% sure he's coaching Butler. Maybe not. Is it Thad Matta? Might be the old Ohio State coach. Well, this just brought the show down to a screeching halt. Yeah, Thad Matta. I always get them two confused, man. Thad Matta taking on Bobby Early. Give me Connecticut, man. -5.5. That's the best damn bet of the day. It's the only damn bet of the day. You got my Saturday's numbers. You got our football picks. You got everything you need to have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you for the love. And thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning, the 5th of January. Uh, this is a morning show. Take all wagers at your own risk, and please, please gamble responsibly.